I just bought a massive Golden Age collection. And I can't wait to show you what is in all of these boxes. Alright, there's nothing in those. I already got them moved over into BCW plastic bins. I'll give you a sneak peek right after this. Hey there YouTube, Scott from Hoarder's Hide, back with another video for you. This one's going to be a little different though. And I know what you're saying. Scott, you do the same shit all the time. You buy books, you buy collections, you show them off, just get on with it. Well, yeah, you're partially right if that's what you're thinking, but trust me, this one's a little different, and it's different for a couple reasons. One reason I'll get into a little later, but another reason I'll tell you about right now, and that's I've got a story to go with this one. So let's start at the beginning. A few weeks ago, Jerry the Jitterbug, aka Give 'em Hell Jerry, he made me aware that this collection was available. So he sent me the list and the contact information for its current owner. So I looked everything over, and it was just nothing but Disney books, and like, that's right up my alley. There's Walt Disney Comics and Stories and Del 4 Color Disney books, and so I just knew I wanted them all. So I emailed the owner and said the same thing. I said, I'll just take them all. So he emailed me back and he said, are you serious? So I emailed him back and said, well, yeah, I'm serious. I want them all. So then he emailed me back and he said, even the Looney Tunes. And I thought to myself, what Looney Tunes? So I looked at the list again and realized that there was a second tab to the spreadsheet, and it was filled with Looney Tune books. So I emailed him back and said, well, yeah, I still want them all. So he then emailed me a corrected list. And this list was, of course, missing 25 or 30 books that were on the original list. They were the big boys, the big hitters, the mega keys, whatever you want to call them. So I was a little disappointed that they were off the table. The collection had obviously been cherry picked. I wasn't the first Pooh with his paw in the honey pot. But there were still some amazing books left on that list. Books I just was so happy to find all in one spot and find for a reasonable price. So we kind of went back and forth a little bit, but not much, and kind of came to a price. And when I started asking him some of the history of the books and the collection and the previous owner, told him that I was really interested in stuff like that, and I directed him to my previous video on Jimmy's books that I had been able to pick up. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up here. Anytime that there's a story behind a collection, that just makes the books even better. I mean, sometimes the story around the books are better than the story in the books. So anyways, once he found out that I was really interested in the story, he gave me a better deal. and he threw some extras in that he didn't have on the list. They were part of the collection. He just didn't go through and add them to the list because they were either missing covers or partial books or incomplete books or some newer books, newer than, a few silver and maybe even a couple of Bronze Age books. So there ended up being an extra 60 or 70 books tossed in that weren't there in that original list and weren't in the agreed upon price. And he knocked money off the price. So it was a great deal all the way around. Anyways, books come in, and I start going over them, and I notice a recurring theme through quite a few of them. The original owner put his name on it. I guess that's one way to put it. So let me show you an example here. He put his name on them. So here's Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, Volume 1, Number 12, from September of 1941. And John Rees, who was the original owner, put his name on books a lot. So he called himself, John Rees's Library. He's got a received date on it. There's another John Rees stamp. He even had a compression address stamp. Had the year stamped in it. Went ahead and put his couple more stamps inside. And I noticed quite a few of them all had a similar tear here in the back. When I got to looking at them more, it kind of looked like a staple. And then I came across some books that actually had homemade library cards that he had made and stapled to the back of the book, so he could loan these out to friends, apparently, which is why he called it John Rees's Library. So he liked his books so much, he wanted everybody to enjoy them, but he wanted people to know they were his, and he wanted them back. So that's understandable, right? So that's that was a recurring theme through a lot of books. And I noticed as the books, started to get into the later 40s, early 50s, the stamps changed, the frequency of stamps changed, the number of stamps or markings changed. And then I was given some more information on the original owner. I was able to find out that, and I could kind of tell from the one stamp, is that he grew up in Connecticut. So he was actually born in 1931, I think in New York, but grew up in Connecticut. And then sometime about 1959 or 60, he moved to Athens, Georgia. So he was a lawyer, he was a law professor. I guess he was a big deal at the university he taught at. They named their library down there after him or something. But he kind of collected books his whole life. Moved on from the comic books into more, novels, antique books, but always collected books. And he kept buying the comics even after he moved, because there's some books that go up into the early 80s. Not a lot, but there's some that go up into the early 80s, late 70s. And he passed away, I think, in 2012. And then sometime in 2018 or 19 is when the previous owner got this collection from John's widow. So that's how it goes from John Rees to the previous owner, now to me. So I had 300, and when it was all said and done, 377, give or take, complete books to look at and go through and analyze to kind of, get an idea of what this kid's collecting habits were like and how he treated his books back then and how things progressed. The 377 books from this collection, again, give or take. And I really didn't know how the best way to show everybody was going to be. And in the end, through, I think, half a joke by Beckerman, decided to give every book its own video. That's right, every book, all 377 plus or minus, has its own short. Everyone averages around 40 seconds. Some push a minute. Some are as low as 20 seconds. 377 shorts. I'm going to release one every hour for roughly the next 16 days. So, you don't have to set your alarm clock and watch them every hour and they drop, but they're short. They're 60 seconds. Watch them. Let them build up and watch a few at a time. An interesting way to do it. I'm actually kind of glad I did it that way. I don't know that I'll do another collection that way, but I might. It helped me grade them as I cataloged, because I got to see more of the book as I flipped through them for the camera. I made some mistakes along the way. I had to redo a lot of videos. And I actually made one mistake that I decided to leave in. And I left it in for you people who are actually going to watch all the videos and pay attention. So, whoever finds the mistake video, send me a DM on Instagram, or I'll leave my email in the description below. You can email me too and tell me what the mistake was I made. And if you pick the right video and pick the right mistake, we're going to enter you for a drawing for this book from the John Rees Collection. Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, Volume 5, Number 2, from 1944. It's actually issue number 50. And it's a lower grade book, but it has John's stamp on it, his compression stamp with his name and address on it. It's a kind of a classic Walt Kelly cover. And it's got Carl Barks' Donald Duck story in it, so it's just a classic book. But anyways, find the mistake and let me know, and we'll give you a chance on the book. I'll give the book away at my 500 subscriber giveaway, whenever that's going to be. I've got a ways to go, so if you find a mistake in one of the videos that wasn't the one I'm thinking about, let me know that too. Maybe I'll give you an entry anyways. There's one mistake I made. I called a book by the wrong issue number. I'll even give you a hint. Called a book by the wrong issue number. So if you can find that one, we'll give you an entry. Also, as you're watching these videos, I do my best to kind of give you artists that appear in the work, the cover artist, interior artists. If there's any special information about the book, I try and throw that in. Now, everything may not be 100% accurate. When it comes to, I may have omitted an artist. I didn't go into inkers and writers. I just try to stick primarily with the pencilers, with the artist. I may have something wrong, and again, I may have some omissions. So if you know of any of those, for sure, let me know. I'd love to hear that. That probably won't get you an entry unless it's a glaring mistake. But you know, I did the best with what information I could find on the internet so I researched every book almost while I was putting these together. So, and the other thing, none of these books for the video had been cleaned or pressed. They're 100% as is, as they came out of the boxes that they were shipped to me in, which you saw me toss over my head in the intro. That's literally what they were packaged in when they came. So I think that's a good intro. So it's about a 15-minute long video. You got about 45 minutes before John Rees Collection video number 1 drops. So get ready, enjoy the next 2 weeks worth of shorts. And until next time, I'm Scott from Hoarder's Hide, and I want to know what's in your hide.